Hello, listeners and viewers. Welcome again at Studio Ab Ovo. Today we talk with Willem Jan Groenewoud, the founder of Ab Ovo. Happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here and talk about this beautiful company that I started about 30 years ago.
Long time ago.
When I was young.
before the gray hair.
Before the gray hair. It's 30 years is a long time. It's a journey.
Yes, really a journey.
A journey.
And how did it start? What made Ab Ovo found its origin?
Well, that's an interesting story that I was about to buy in those times in 1996, a company with about 300 employees. And in the end, that deal did not materialize. But I also stopped working at the Royal Net Lloyd, so I had to do something.
Okay.
And then I thought, well, if that's the only option, I'll start from scratch.
Really? Okay. So you have a history in logistics.
I have a history.
Royal Net Lloyd is really an old logistics company of Holland.
Logistics company, famous company. I was on the part of the shipping lines. Beautiful business that I was in charge together with a Mr. called Speld in Asia Pacific, and I learned a lot from him on how doing business and how to read what people want, what companies want. And then I thought, well, why not do this in practice in the Netherlands? And we started out as a pure consulting firm.
Okay.
And what we did was find young people, enthusiastic people with a lot of background in logistics, preferably. And we hired them. And none of them, I think, is working with us anymore.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
But it's a long time ago.
And they all have brilliant careers.
Yeah?
Yeah. So they learned a lot, I guess, at Ab Ovo.
But it really started from entrepreneurship.
It started from entrepreneurship, and we had a vision of, I call it 5 years milestones.
Okay.
And the first period was make as much money as you can.
That's a good business view, of course.
No, not in itself, because making money is never the issue. But as much as possible to have, let's say, a war chest.
Okay.
To start investing.
Okay.
So that was the purpose of the first 5 years. And then we said, well, the second 5 years, where do we want to invest? And then we said, we want to invest in technology.
Okay.
We didn't have a clue about what technology.
Really, no?
No, nothing. But in technology. And two things happened. On the one hand, a company called nowadays Delmia Quintic, which is one of our best partners we ever had. Then it was still called Quintic. They came along and we saw their, let's say, software stack.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, that's brilliant. We take that one in our portfolio anyway.
Okay.
And we bought a company which was called EDCubed. And that's basically what we now call the Ecologic platform. That's our own technology.
Okay.
The next 5 years, we thought about something else. And we said, well, if we want to survive, we need a market. There must be one market still there that we can conquer.
Of course, yeah.
And that was the period that we analyzed that the rail industry would be different from the past. Because in the past, they were all state-owned companies with passenger, with freight, with infra. And that had to be divided by the European Commission. They decided that, and a lot of countries did so. And what we found out was that the rail freight companies were basically the ugly duckling of all those state-owned companies, because all the money went to the passenger side.
Ah, okay.
So the systems they had were basically not equipped truly for rail freight. And when we found out that that was the case, we started investing heavily in solutions for that market. And I'm very proud to say that probably about 40% of all the rail freight traffic in Europe uses our software.
So and what is the difference between the rail freight and the passenger, or is that
totally different?
Yeah.
And from our perspective, the main difference is that passenger trains run on time.
Yes.
Rail freight trains hardly ever run on time. So you always have to reschedule continuously. So the software you need to make sure that the train goes from A to B, that it runs on time. And that has to be divided by the European Commission. They decided that, and a lot of countries did so. And what we found out was that the rail freight companies were basically the ugly duckling of all those state-owned companies, because all the money went to the passenger side. So the systems they had were basically not equipped truly for rail freight. And when we found out that that was the case, we started investing heavily in solutions for that market. And I'm very proud to say that probably about 40% of all the rail freight traffic in Europe uses our software.
Ah, okay.
always something happens.
So it really needs to be flexible.
You need to be flexible. You have to be able to reschedule, replan continuously, and that's a challenge.
That's a big challenge.
It's
Yeah.
a big challenge, and of course, in the passenger rail, there is also some disruption, but minimal.
And of course, you started that the European Union set some regulations, rules, but they had to be applied. Of course.
They have to be applied. It's
Yeah.
continuous business because the business is changing continuously because of new rulings. So we also have to adjust our software continuously. So it gives us a steady position.
Yeah, and for us, people not into the whole business of rail freight, but we think that the European Union is been said a long time ago, but it's not always been that united. Also, I think in how to use rail freight together with regulations and
No, that is. I mean, every country has its own interpretation of the rules.
Yeah.
That makes it interesting.
Yeah, we talked with some with also with business owners of applications of Ab Ovo, and they always are very proud of the unity of the application. So it can be used in all of the worldwide actually, with all the regulations in it and yeah.
Well, worldwide, yes, in essence.
But try.
There are some limitations, not on the planning software that is worldwide.
Yeah.
But the challenges are different in Europe than in the States or in Australia or wherever. If we look at the order-to-cash system, that's more European-based.
Okay.
But that's basically the start of the company. We had that position, and then at one point in time, we said, okay, now we're going to create value.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And not value in money, but value in...
Of the company.
Of the company, yeah.
And when that was done, basically, I had a partner in the company. Basically, he was responsible for all internal affairs plus the development of the rail cargo system. He fell ill, and the company had a huge value. So we were forced more or less to find a buyer.
Okay. You couldn't just take it up by yourself. You needed...
It was too much money.
Yeah.
That's so we basically sold the company, and a capital investor joined, and they found out that this is a market which is not really that scalable. So they were disappointed.
Of course.
At one point in time, and as a family, myself and my children, we sat together and we said we were going to buy it back.
Okay. So what was the time from the origin, from the start to the company to the point that you needed to switch to an investor? Is that
that's roughly...
Is that like 10 years ago that it happened?
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Wow, that is quite a change because you're your own entrepreneur. You have all the saying which way you want to go or what you want to do was all by yourself actually, or by the company itself.
That change, that was a big change. It's a different dynamics.
Yeah,
I would say. But 3 years ago, I came back, and 1.5 years ago, I bought the company back.
Okay.
That's so now we're in charge again of what's going to happen, and just in time, I think, because the industry is changing like hell.
Yeah.
At the moment, and that is there are 3 components basically that we're focusing on. One is on software design in itself. How do you create software? Another one is on energy.
Of course, yeah.
And a last one is on the cybersecurity.
3 very large topics in IT these days.
If you look at cybersecurity, yesterday I was at an infra provider in Europe.
Yeah.
And I confronted them with the question, how will quantum computing affect your company? And they gave the right answer. Actually, they said, well, we are discussing this now weekly with Gartner.
Wow.
Because the impact of quantum computing on our security will be so huge. The chance that we will be hacked will increase tremendously. And we have a critical service for the country.
Yes, of course. When everything, when rail freight or
Yeah. So,
logistics in general,
and they are not the only ones so it's not only for let's say infra providers, but also for airports, for anything you can think of which is critical for the functioning of a country is at risk.
Yeah, you need to trust everything that goes through the country. It's not that just a box that you service, but it's also oil or chemicals or whatever. It needs to be safe. And
I had a very interesting discussion about 3 weeks ago with somebody. I won't mention the name.
No, of course, no.
That's logical. But they said, well, quantum computing is still far away. And my reply was yes and no.
Yeah.
Before the quantum computers are reliable, that may take 3 years, 2 years, I don't know. Could be faster, but basically the risk is already now, because a lot of companies have been hacked.
Yeah.
Data is encrypted quite often, but it's stored. So the moment that those quantum computers are operational, you can be damn sure that all that data will be opened.
Yeah, they're going to use the whole.
There will be a second wave of
attacks.
Blackmail, basically. So it's there, and you have to prepare yourself for that. Now that's one topic which is very, very interesting, especially for us, because we only deliver mission-critical systems.
Yes.
So if our systems are not protected,
you cannot just put it at the customer's responsibility.
No.
You need to be responsible yourself.
We are to a large extent responsible for the quality of our systems. Now, the second topic is also very interesting on energy. That when AI came up in the consumer field, I call it still.
Yeah, of course, because it's longer here, but that we know it as a consumer. It's a few years now.
We already saw an increase in the energy demand on the IT sector. It is now increasing more.
Yeah.
So we don't know the exact figures, but if you look at the complete IT environment, everything, including the production of telephones, laptops, or
servers, chips, everything. Yeah.
The worldwide energy percentage will probably be above 40%.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's really a lot. Worldwide, that's a lot.
Yes. So that means that at one point in time there will be a shortage at data centers. That is one thing, and the other thing is there might also be a shortage on the energy itself, the electricity, but also the water.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, the cooling. Yeah, the cooling of the heat. Yeah.
So the more systems we create, the more AI we use, the higher the risk. And I think mission-critical systems, in the end, will have preference over non-mission-critical systems, one way or the other. Don't know how that will figure out, but it's a certain logic. And the less energy you use with your software, basically, also the less risk you run.
The green coding. I talked with the transition about the green coding.
Exactly. Yeah. So we need to go into that direction. And our purpose as a company is indeed, you call it green coding. I call it...
green IT or whatever,
green design.
Actually from the bottom, from the startup.
Green design. Make sure that our software uses less energy than our competitors, basically. That's on the energy side. Now, if we look at software design, that's even more interesting, because then it becomes more physical in the end. I mean, if you talk about energy or cybersecurity, these are fake terms in the end. I mean,
you cannot show them immediately.
You can't show it, you can't touch it, you can't. No. I mean, they're important. But if we look at software design, 2.5 years ago, we had some discussions internally and some vision sharing. And I refer to a science fiction movie.
Which one?
I don't recall which one, but you see them quite often, that people sit in a room and they just wave their hands and suddenly you see your screen.
Yes, of course.
And they talk to that screen and they swipe over that screen. But it wasn't there. It's just basically they're talking that activated
something.
Now that is a way forward that I believe will happen. Absolutely. And Ab Ovo is investing in that heavily.
So into
so not yet into the thin air. I mean, that is.
Oh, but
that is the carrier, I call it. But
that's the movie part.
But the whole concept that you come into your room basically you have a black screen and you start talking to that screen what you want to do.
Yes.
And then a specific screen is created for you that is connected to 7 or 8 applications, but also to the world outside.
Yep.
So that you can do your work in the best possible way. And then there's disruption or there's something happening or whatever, and you keep on working. At the same time, we have an agentic angel monitoring continuously what you're doing and learning.
Real time.
Real time. So that at one point in time, when you open your screen, then this agentic angel knows, within 15 minutes, you will be asking or doing this, because I've already seen from the data and the information that's coming up what's about to happen.
Yeah, you know weather in front, work in front, the planning on railroads. You can all incorporate everything.
So this person could be a planner or something else. Basically, gets the feed already. Watch out! You have to do this. You have to go there. You have to do that. So he gets support and
in anticipation.
Yes, and it's very interesting because this angel, I call it, learns a lot, and is basically only supportive. But what happens if this planner or other person basically can't work anymore? Either he retires or something bad happens.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Then somebody else comes in who doesn't have a clue.
No, of course.
But because then this angel becomes a tutor.
Yeah.
So there's no breaking continuity on the quality of the work. And after a while, this tutor becomes supportive again.
Yeah, so because the level of intelligence is up, has been risen to the old level.
So that is something that we hope to launch on the 1st of October.
Wow.
This workable, let's say, solution already. The other thing that we're also looking at, changing the industry of software design, is one of the biggest problems usually in let's say, greenfield type of projects is that there's never consensus on what has to be created.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you have consultants from our company sitting with the experts from the customer, and they talk for 6 or 8 weeks, and they produce a document which is probably 95% accurate.
Oh, okay.
And then everybody signs off. And when you start creating the software, then along the road, and no, this is not what we meant.
Oh, okay.
We basically need something else.
A translation from the vision or the thinking to the actual document, and then the actual workload is
that is
a difficult.
This is quite often, misunderstanding or still building up knowledge, which was lost, by the way, somewhere, somehow. You never know. But what we now have is, and that also basically covers the language barriers because we work internationally.
Of course, yeah.
We have what we call a BPMN wizard. It's for ourselves.
Yes.
Where basically you can sit talking in Latvian. I can speak to you in Dutch. And in the meantime, the process schemes are showed on the screen in English.
Okay.
And that's interactive. And the moment that people say, well, this is exactly the process in detail what I'm talking about, we fix it, we sign it off. And that one is not 95% correct, but 99.5% correct.
Wow.
So the risk in a project or the failures in a project is considerably being reduced, but also the time to create such an understanding is reduced. You don't need 6 consultants, you need only 2.
But it's called vision. So you see a visual translation of what you need or what you
can talk
want.
in your own language.
Yeah, that's really a good
instead of in English.
Yes.
So that is a big advantage. Now, if we look at the actual creation of software, which is also interesting, that you can use AI to create software. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yes, of course.
But the problem is with AI creating software is that if you want to change something, it is completely recreated again, and it may be different.
Yeah, the start. It has always a start point where it goes back to, and then it recreates again from the start point, and not.
And you can't afford that in mission critical systems. I mean, if it's a bookkeeping system and there's a small error, who cares?
Yeah.
Or a CRM system, well, it's unfortunate, but if you look at mission critical systems, you can't afford that. So you need software which is maintainable, where you
Yes.
can make changes with the certainty that nothing else actually is being affected. So that's a restriction in that world.
Okay. Yeah. Of course.
The other thing is that the functional part is no longer the most interesting part. It's the non-functional part that's the most interesting, like cybersecurity, but also scalability, friendliness, everything you can talk about. And also in that field, you can use AI to support,
Yes.
but not to take over.
It's not
So
what it does, but how it
you
works.
use it.
Yeah.
That's the key there. And so if we look at our industry, then yeah, in the end, we need more people who can design and steer the processes instead of pure coding.
Because the coding has
To a
hard.
larger part
Yeah.
has been taken over, but not like some people think AI does it. No, AI can bring portions, but it still has to be translated into a maintainable product.
Yes.
That's so that is for the software companies, and I think in the end we need probably less people on the software design, but more people on the cybersecurity part.
Yes.
So it's not that you need less people, but you need different skills. I mean that's clear. And if we look at in a broader sense of AI, our industry is being affected, and in the end, everything we do, and I'm sure our competitors do the same. We look at any investment from a business case perspective.
Yes. Of course. Yeah.
I mean, there's no point of using AI developments if it only brings cost and no benefits. So that is critical.
And
And
you try to fix it on a market or on a needed and some a market needs.
where you win time, you can make a better offer to a customer.
Yes.
So higher chance to win.
Of course.
I mean, that is the. But if we look at AI in general, how it is being applied in companies, I think I said it before in another setting. I know, I'm sure I did. Last year, October 1st,
Oh, yeah.
as a final speech in that setting, there are only two industries that are not seriously affected by AI, only from a business case perspective, and all other industries are at risk of survival.
Yes.
And those two industries are anything that has heavy equipment.
Okay.
So manufacturing is equipment in itself. Rail operators, you need a locomotive, you need wagons.
Yep.
So you can have a long list of those kind of companies, but AI will be for them there to create more efficiency in the end, or be less riskful in what they're doing. And the other industry is people.
Because
You have to eat.
Yep.
You want to dress.
Yep.
You have to go to the hair cutter. Anything relating to your body will stay on as an industry.
and maybe you see something in that kind of movies that there's a robot cutting your hair, but it's not.
Even then,
yeah.
even then, it's a business case.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so anything relating to your body leads to, let's say, a certain industry, whatever.
Yeah.
And all other industries in between, they have to think about their survival.
Yeah.
So that's not a business case quite often. It's more like, okay, what does it mean? And how can I survive? How can I reinvent my own business to be there still in 5 or 10 or 20 years' time?
Yeah, because people always talk about knowledge of people or concepting from the thoughts of people, the brain thinks. But when AI is fast enough and smart enough, there's always going to be the efficiency part. So you don't need 10 consultants. You need one who is working
Yes.
with software or with AI, with tooling, and can do the work of 10.
To a certain extent.
To a
yes.
certain extent,
But
yeah.
there will be a huge efficiency, absolutely.
It's also an opportunity. We always say we have not enough people, not enough hours that we can put into it. So in that case, it is a solution.
How many people do we have on this earth?
Yeah, but then, yeah, but the strange thing is we always look at when you say all the people, but for a lot of people, all the people are within borders of the country, of course. That's the strange thing, that when you look at really at solutions, Bill Gates looks at solutions like worldwide.
Yep.
He thinks of something and put it somewhere on the earth. But a lot of things that are thought of are even within a town or a municipality or.
No, that's correct. But I mean, our company has always been global.
Yeah.
In its thinking, in its doing, in its acting, and that stays. So if we look at human resources, there's a lot of limitations of using people in other countries. I mean, there's a language barrier, there's an understanding barrier, there is a lot time barrier. But in the end, it's more effective.
So, yeah.
If you invest and are willing to invest, because it's never done on day one. It may take 2 or 3 years before you reap the benefits.
Yeah, but now it's 2 or 3 years. And when you look at the first, the Industrial Revolution, it took decades. So that's also crazy.
Yeah.
The development of things is taking so little time now. That's a crazy thing. But when you talked earlier about, it isn't in the near future, and then you say 2 years. What are 2 years?
It's not
crazy.
a long time, but you have to invest those 2 years, and then you get your benefits. So
Exactly.
it's worthwhile.
Yeah, it's worthwhile.
Absolutely. That's.
So that is the future of Ab Ovo is in worldwide.
No, yeah, we are worldwide basically.
Yeah.
We have people in India working for us. We have people in the States, all over Europe, and we also work in the Middle East. We used to have an office in China, but unfortunately that was too early.
Yeah.
Perhaps we go back, but at the moment not. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the industries that we're in, take the airlines and the airports.
Yeah.
If you would stick to the Netherlands, then it's one airline.
It's one
airport.
Yeah, actually, yeah. In one main port, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to do business in that segment, you have to be international.
Larger.
If you look at rail freight, there is basically one rail freight operator originally in the Netherlands. We got 4 or 5 or 6 more at the moment, but they're not that big yet. So also there, the big ones are in France, are in Germany, Poland, the Nordics.
So
you have to go out.
Yeah. So to talk about the future, you started somewhere as an entrepreneur, started Ab Ovo. Now you are back, actually. Strange to say, but you're back since a few years. How do you see the future of Ab Ovo as an entrepreneur? What is your purpose as being the CEO of Ab Ovo?
Well, we just mentioned those 3 challenges. That I think the first step is it relates to a vision on the economy in general. That the so-called Rhineland model. I don't know if you know that model.
What is
Rhineland model?
Yeah.
That is a model of doing business which originated, well, the word says it, Rhine. Any company, any country, basically connected to the Rhine. From origin, those were family-related companies where trust and understanding and continuity of the company had preference above the capitalistic view of making as much money as you can.
Okay.
So continuity of the company is priority 1. We want to be here in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time. And that kind of thinking means that you invest continuously in the developments that are going on.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. So I have a comfortable feeling at the moment that with the crew that we have and the intelligence we have in the company, we will be able to make that switch where in the end cyber computing, cloud computing, AI usage, but also to create software by green design, we will succeed there. And that means that we will probably grow a little bit, not hugely, because that would not be logical, but we will grow a little bit with the focus on, let's say, a social profitability that basically allows you to invest continuously and create continuity.
To stay. Yeah. Ab Ovo is here to stay.
Yeah. This is what our customers should expect, because if they have a deal with us, it's usually for 10 to 20, already 25 years in certain places.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I mean,
you need to be reliable.
You need to be reliable.
Yeah, it's not a trendy thing that you do. It needs to be there in the future. Well, that's a good thing to look at.
And if it's 25 years, then I probably won't be there.
you never know. But you will be remembered as the entrepreneur who started Ab Ovo at the first. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.